Welcome welcome all to the SnailTrail4x4 Podcast. If you like going off-roading in Toyotas, wrenching on Toyotas, camping in Toyotas, and maybe poking a little bit of fun at Toyotas, and of course, hearing about dynamic cruise control in Toyotas, then this is the podcast for you. So I'm your host today. Sitting here next to me on the lovely recording studio C is the one and only Jimmy Jet. Jimmy Jet, Mr. Jet. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
You're doing all right?
Yeah.
You're feeling a little, did you get a good night's sleep? Did you feeling a little more spry?
Yeah, since last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
that melatonin kicking, did it knock you out?
Not bad, yeah. I have a love-hate relationship with melatonin. It definitely, I sleep really well on it, but I'm super groggy when I wake up.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's
and
kind of
so
like
it's
me after drinking a bottle of wine before going to bed.
Yeah.
So
tannins.
The tannins,
they're
man.
Brutal.
They get there. They get you going or get you not going.
Yeah.
Opposite of getting you going. There you go. They slow you down.
But it's just been a busy week.
It has been a very busy week.
And so we've have a lot going, and we gotta record.
Gotta put some episodes out for you guys. So you guys are hearing this episode. This is episode 21, right?
Dang. We broke the 20 mark?
We broke the 20 mark. So I think we're around to stay for a little bit longer. Our friends over at Wheeling Wine and Whiskey did some research for us with their propeller hat, the propeller hat producer, Lorenzo. And they found out that if a podcast makes it past episode, was it 16?
I don't know.
It was like 15 or 16. That they're pretty much they're going to be around. Most podcasts die out before then.
Nice.
So, so they're past that point. So it looks like they'll be around for a little bit longer. They have listened to some of their episodes. The past few episodes here. There's some fun stories from Fordyce and some of the shenanigans that they got into up there at Meadow Lakes after Sierra Trek. So check those out. If you did not get to see, Lorenzo was on scene at Meadow Lake. So I'm not going to tell you guys where that was, but he was there. So you got to hunt it down and find out where it was.
I'm interested.
So yeah, he would go check them out, listen to them, give them a shout out, tell them that the Snail Trail, the Toyota boys, told everybody to go and listen to them. So just tell them that CJ suck while you're there talking to them. So anyways, on to business for today, because you guys are listening to this episode on a Monday.
Yep.
This
you know what that means?
Is airing on a Monday, which means that we get the magical happening.
Fire.
We get fire.
Campfire discussions.
There we go. Campfire discussions are happening. I had no clue where you're going with the magical dust. I was like unicorn dust? What's going on here?
Yeah.
So before we get into our campfire discussion for Monday with our cameras here, so we have to say thank you to all the patrons out there. So thank you guys. Namaste. I hope you have a great long life because of the support and care that you guys are giving us. We have the giveaway. Let's see, this is Monday. So technically the giveaway for the Exploration Ready kit is over. And we will be announcing the winner on the next episode here. So episode 22 on Thursday coming up this week. So, but for the, what's the next month here now? September we're in?
Yes.
We're in September. So, September, the giveaway, because I don't think we announced it on the last one.
No.
Like we said we were going to.
We didn't.
But September's giveaway is going to be a Factor 55 the thimble. So a closed winch system thimble for a Factor 55. So that's what's going on for September. Super cool item.
Awesome.
They're awesome. They look great on rigs. They are fantastic for winching. They are very highly rated for strength. They go with the whole closed winch system. So if you are unfamiliar with closed system winching, it's the ability to have everything that's interconnected to different parts of a rigging setup for a winch and have it all be closed so there's no open hooks.
Right.
And so with no open hooks, you dramatically decrease the chances of a failure in the system. So closed winching system, awesome for winching, and a really awesome gear that they have our Factor 55. So we are working on getting somebody from there onto the podcast. So hopefully we can do an interview. So what we want to do from you guys, hopefully we can get them on the show sooner than later, but we want questions from you guys. What do you want to know about winching? What do you want to know about recovery gear? What is the information that you guys want to know from the industry experts, industry leaders in recovery over at Factor 55? So send in those emails. We'll compile a list here, and during the interview with somebody from Factor 55, we'll ask your questions and get them answered for you guys from the industry leaders in recovery gear. So, so September, Factor 55 thimble. It should be awesome. So that's going to be in the September giveaway. You got to be on that $10 tier on the Patreon account to get that. And then the boxes, we still have about a month and a half until you guys get your gift boxes, those that are on the $20 tier. So those are coming along nicely. I think we're just about done. I think we have everything together. We're like, I don't know, one item? We're still waiting on one item to show up here?
Yeah. We're, I'm pushing.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Yeah. We're both trying. But, hey, that's fine.
Yeah. It'll happen. And they're going to be great.
They're going to be awesome. So, thank you everybody out there. Hopefully, you guys are getting a lot of value out of that Patreon. We really tried to set it up to make sure that, you guys get some enjoyment and entertainment out of that, as well as the podcast and the YouTube channel and all the videos and everything that we're doing. So, thank you guys for supporting us in that. Hopefully, you're getting some returns on it. So, let's see what else is on the docket to talk about. Any news updates? I don't think there were too many news updates, so... No,
I don't have anything.
I don't have anything either. But for today's campfire discussion, we did read an interesting news article, started talking about, and we were like, you know what? This would be a pretty cool podcast topic.
Yes.
So...
Yeah, I believe so.
The title of the article is how the tech in your car is making you a bad driver. Not me. You.
No. Not me. It's you.
No, it's not me. I'm a phenomenal driver, okay?
Yeah.
Yes. Phenomenal. So what they go on to talk about is we have a lot of really cool technology that's come into cars in the past 5 to 6 years.
Yeah,
really, it's a lot of things have changed very quickly in cars in terms of technology to help making driving safer, quote unquote. But is it really making driving safer? That's a good question. Some of the things
that's the question we're going to discuss.
That's the question we're discussing today.
Yes.
So some of the things that have come into vehicles on the roads as standard equipment now in 2019 are things like a lane departure warning or lane assist, where not only it doesn't just warn you, it actually moves you back into the lane if you start wandering.
Yep.
There's traction control that's been around for a good decade or more now.
Yes, definitely.
So that's been around for a while. The stability control, which is essentially kind of goes into that lane assist, departure assist thing where it'll keep you going straight if you start going into a slide kind of thing. So say you start hydroplaning or something,
right? Or
hit black ice on the road.
Sure.
The stability control will straighten you back out and attempt to right the vehicle for you. There's
how about automatic braking?
There's automatic braking. So there's sensors all over vehicles now that know how far the vehicle is from things and objects.
Right.
And will brake for you. There's blind spot monitoring for you. So it'll tell you when there's a vehicle in your blind spot and usually puts a little orange light up in your mirror.
How about automated parking?
Automated parking, that one's awesome. I love that one. But there's automated parking, so you can go and have your car do parallel parking for you. With electronic steering now, you can have it park a trailer for you, backup
so
trailers for you, which is crazy. There's dynamic cruise control.
Yep.
So you can be on the freeway or on a road and set your cruise control to 70 or even 80 or 90 if you want.
Right.
And if somebody gets in front of you or you end up behind somebody, it automatically slows you down to match whatever speed the person is in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
Did we say Rearview Cameras?
Rearview cameras are out there too.
Yeah.
Now, with the Gladiator, it has a front-facing camera for to watch look at the trail
cameras all around on some rigs. You can literally see what's on the right and left side of you and things like that. It's crazy.
The Range Rovers, I believe, in 2017 had 360-degree view cameras that you can view from your infotainment center inside the Range Rover.
Right.
Teslas have that now as well.
Yep.
And Teslas even have an internal video storage server built into every single vehicle.
Wow.
That you can access from your phone. So you can pull camera footage off of your vehicle at any given time for like the last week, something like that, off of your car. So, and then Teslas, they use a ton of different radar sensors that can actually know where every single vehicle is within like 300 feet of you. And they know enough to whether it's a truck, an SUV, a car, or a motorcycle.
Wow.
And then that all shows up on your infotainment systems of all the things around you on there too. So there's all these things that are really, really cool tech, really awesome technology.
Mm-hmm.
But is it really making the roads safer for us?
Well, I don't know if that's the question. The question is it making you a better driver?
That's true. I think that's two very distinct questions and two very different questions as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What are your thoughts? I mean, we have all these technologies that are. So let's answer the first question. Okay. Do you think that all these technologies are making it safer on the road?
No.
You don't?
I don't.
Interesting. I think that they are making things safer on the road.
Okay.
Now, do you think that they're making people better drivers or worse drivers? Worse drivers?
Yes, worse drivers.
Okay.
They are not making people better.
I would completely agree with that. So I think that it's making roads safer up to a certain extent.
Okay.
I think once we get to full automation, like 100, I way more trust a computer than I trust people. So,
yeah,
I think that once we get to full automation, just because I've let a Tesla drive me around before, and it's really cool to watch their system work.
It is crazy.
It is pretty crazy. Yeah. And so after seeing that system, I'm like, fully 100% automatic driving cars, the way to go, 100% is my opinion. And I think once we're at that point, then yes, I think the roads are going to be way safer than people driving. Okay. But are they safer right now? It's a good question. Mainly because I agree with you. I do not think that all this tech in our vehicles is making us better drivers.
Okay. And so let's go into that.
Okay.
Why? Let's just choose one, and I'll look at the first things first. Automatic braking.
Okay.
Why does somebody need automatic braking?
I would assume the automatic braking would be better for in a parking lot at slow speeds when there's stuff around you that you cannot see.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think automatic braking is completely useless on a highway going 70 miles an hour.
Automatic braking is because you're not paying attention.
That is true.
So the car has to brake for you.
Behind it, you're not able to be paying attention,
right? Yeah. And I think what they claim is that the car knows what's happening before you do, so it can brake for you faster.
That's true. Yeah.
Right. And I don't know if that's true, and I don't have any evidence to back it up. But I'm just like, if you're not paying attention, and it's going to save you. If you're paying attention, you're probably braking.
Yeah.
So if you're not paying attention, you need your automatic braking. If you're paying attention, you don't need automatic braking.
I don't know. I still think that there's things. I mean, I guess if you have a rear view camera and you are paying attention to your rear view camera and out your side mirrors as well when you're backing up, at least, there's no reason why you should hit a parking pylon or a post in a parking lot, I guess.
But what about going forward in like on an evening driving down the road and a deer jumps out in front of you?
I don't know if the automatic braking systems are
that complex.
Not really that complex, but if the brakes are going to be good enough to stop you.
Right. I know
thing.
that
like, I don't even know if at that point, if a deer jumps out in front of you, I don't know if a person would be able to stop it. kind
sure.
Of thing.
Okay. Well, how about a deer jumps out in front of the car in front of you, and that car in the front of you slams on their brakes, and then you need the automatic braking to slow you down?
I think that's just a legit excuse for automatic braking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because you're not paying attention.
Not necessarily. I mean, sometimes, so there was an incident where I got rear-ended in my Tacoma when I had it. And it was just one of those things. The lady behind me was paying attention, but her brakes were not good enough. And mine were better.
Well, I'm not
we
sure if automatic braking would help that.
No,
situation.
it totally wouldn't have. But
if you don't have brakes, you don't have brakes, whether you have automatic braking or not.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see automatic braking as being beneficial if you're going more than like 20 miles an hour, 20, 25 miles an hour.
Yeah. I think a lot of my answers are going to come down to the fact that it is coming down to the fact that the driver is no longer paying attention, probably looking at their phone or doing something else, or it is allowing the driver to now not pay attention and look at their phone and do something else.
Yep.
Like lane assist. Like now we're allowing people to look at their phone and the car will keep you in the lane.
I think that's great. That's a great productivity addition to vehicles.
Right? So now you have lane assist with dynamic cruise control, which is pretty much self-driving vehicles. Now you're allowed to look down. Not allowed. Now you do look down. Not allowed to, but you do look down at your phone because it will keep you away from the person in front of you and it'll keep you in your lane.
And then you have automatic braking for when the person in front of you slams on their brakes, and so you're good. Right?
And so now you're not paying attention at all.
That's fine.
To driving, which is making you a worse driver.
True. True, I agree. But it's making cars better drivers.
That's not what we're talking about, though. We're not talking about whether all these automations that are going into vehicles is making cars better. Because that is. I mean, it is. Or is it making the human behind the wheel a better driver?
True, and I don't think that is.
No.
I think it's completely, I agree 100%. It is, I think they are making people worse drivers, 100%. But do we want to try and rely on people to be good drivers?
Well,
because that's a good thing. You made two distinctions there when you said... And this is going to be another thing we hadn't really planned on talking about, I think. But you said, we might have to go back and listen to the recording to figure out exactly what you said. But you said something along the lines of, it's making people a worse driver and they're not paying attention and they were not paying attention before. Now they're really not going to pay attention. So if they're not paying attention before...
Right. Well, but the thing is,
can we make people pay better attention, or is it better to invest? Is it better to invest money into making people pay attention and be good drivers, or is it better to spend money and invest money and resources into just getting the vehicles to do it for them? Because
is this an insurance question?
I think it's a society question.
So I think people were better drivers when we had automatics or no automatics. Everybody was driving around in manuals, no traction control, and no stability control.
Okay.
And you had to know how to drive your vehicle.
Yeah.
And you had a better understanding of your vehicle. You had a better understanding of the situations that you're in with your vehicle. And you didn't need to rely on things that had to be put in the vehicle to keep you upright.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. I think that's a fair argument there. I think that I think it's a fair argument. I just don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's.
I don't know. I don't know if we can prove it.
I don't know how we could prove or disprove it.
Okay, Google.
Yeah, right. Hey, Alexa. So yeah, that's an interesting thought. Were we better drivers when it was just a 3-speed manual and no ABS, just straight brakes, and you had to know how to pump your brakes to stop in an emergency, to stop from skidding.
Yeah, drums all around. Were we better drivers when we had to know how to control our vehicles in a slide and know how to work the vehicle out of, hitting a black ice or hydroplaning? I really do think drivers training, for the kids, they should go on like a skid pan.
Oh yeah?
That
would be really cool. I would be totally down for that.
I was a crazy 16-year-old driver. Crazy.
Yeah.
And I knew how to slide.
Mm-hmm.
And me knowing how to slide didn't make me a crazy driver. Me knowing how to slide saved me from crashing.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And the fact that when I would lose control, I could regain control.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that was I was better than a lot of the drivers out there on the road.
Fair. Did you get to that point because of just going and playing around in dirt fields and stuff?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And playing in some mud and getting, the slippery tires and hitting puddles and hydro locking your engine, doing stupid things when you're 16.
Jimmy Hydrojet.
But, once and so then when you do it today and I'm driving down the road and for some reason, I have to do it in Bobcat because Charlotte has all these things. Charlotte has if you start sliding, it brakes opposite tires and keeps you aligned.
Stability control.
So you don't lose control. And I'm trying to make it slide and it won't let me. So if I'm driving Bobcat and you start going around a corner and Bobcat's rear tires are welded or now it's spooled, but so it loses control super easy, especially if it's wet ground.
Yeah.
I know how to fix it. And solve the problem, where people don't know how to do that. A lot of people don't have any clue how to correct a slide.
True. So,
and that happens.
Yeah.
Right. And the thing is that because that happens, they had to build innovation into vehicles because people don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
And is that our fault then? Because we don't teach that and we don't tell people how to solve this problem? Or is it our fault because we build something into the vehicle so we don't have to deal with it?
It's a good. What was first, the chicken or the egg?
I can answer that question.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What is it?
It's the egg.
Huh.
Because an animal that resembled the chicken laid an egg that hatched a chicken. If you believe in Darwinism and whatever that is. So something that was similar to that laid an egg, then out came a chicken.
Nice.
And now we have chickens.
So it's okay. That makes sense.
So what was the next question?
I don't remember. So you think that, or do you think, what is your opinion on, are people getting worse because of these technological advances? Or are we getting these technological advances because people are getting worse? Or do you think it's just tech companies and car companies going, oh, that's a really cool feature, let's throw that in a car?
I think it's all the above. I think that the car industry is really trying to get to self-driving cars. Because I do fully 100% understand that there are massive advantages to having self-driving cars. Like gas mileage are going to go up, commute times are going to go up or down. You're going to get better commute times. You're going to be able to drive an inch from each other. It's things you're not going to be as congested because you're going to be able to have proper spacing and because you're driving an inch from each other, you're going to get the better gas mileages because you'll be drafting, and it will save people's lives in essence because now we'll probably have an immense amount of less drunk driving accidents.
That's true. Yeah.
And that does kill a grip load of people and
it's going to take away a lot of Uber jobs, though.
It will. And taxis and all that.
Yeah.
But I'm really And I think we're really pushing hard to get there.
Uh-huh.
And that's why we're putting all this innovation into cars. Because they're testing the waters. Let's see if we can keep the car in the lane. Let's see if we can keep them between the two cars. Now we're almost a self-driving car. Tesla has a self-driving car.
They absolutely
We were talking about it the other day. You were telling me that just the other day, somebody went across the country.
Drove across the country.
The lower 48, states, sitting in the back of a Tesla.
Yep. Sitting in the back seat with nobody in the front seats.
Yep.
And his car drove him across country.
Yep.
He said he got like somewhere around halfway across the country or something like that, and ended up having to switch to the front seat because he was getting too many worried looks from other drivers, and like they were starting to report him.
Oh yeah,
as being.
Oh, that's what happens when you go through the Midwest.
So yeah, exactly right. So
what is happening?
Yeah,
that guy's not in a truck.
I know. Yeah. There's no truck here. That's bullshit.
Aliens.
Call it in. No, so yeah, he ended up having to like swap over to the front seat and instead like started reading newspapers and magazines while he was sitting in the driver's seat everywhere. Yeah.
But like if we go to that system, then you're not going to need a driver's license.
Yeah.
You're not going to need, you're just going to jump in and it's going to go and nobody's going to know how to drive. So let's take it to the full extreme. Yes. You're going to become a much worse driver
because you're not going
to know how to drive because the car is going to do it for you.
Are we going to
which is almost where we are now.
Are we going to get rock crawlers that can crawl for us? So we can just kind of ride along?
It'll be like, I want to go on the Rubicon today.
Punch it in your phone. Hey, come pick me up at this address. I'm going to the Rubicon. All right, hop in. There you go. And you come back, drops you off.
You roll up there on some 54s and some portal axles, and it just kind of walks over everything. And then
another car brings you in and out to Rubicon Springs.
And that one just is like a jump bike. You kind of just pick it up at one end or the other of the Rubicon.
Oh, man. That'd be funny. A little bird scooter for the Rubicon. Anyway, so yeah, no, the military has those actually. They have self-driving off-road vehicles that are set up with sonar systems and everything that can read the topography.
Yep.
And it'll know what it can and cannot drive up.
Oh, really?
And it will figure it out, and if it comes to an obstacle that it know it can't do, it'll back up and find another route around it.
Oh, wow.
So you just plug in essentially, I want to go to here.
I want you to go there.
Yep. Yeah. And it'll just go and figure out it figures out its own off-road route and everything. So it was on one of the Top Gear episodes.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
They did a race. I want to say with one of the new Range Rovers. And he had to go up a hill or down a hill or something like that. And he couldn't take the gnarly route up. He had to kind of go around stuff. And so he was racing the military vehicle as it was getting itself up to the top of this mountain.
Oh, wow. That'd be interesting.
It was it was a fun episode to watch.
But you know what we were talking about earlier when we were reading, actually, I think we were on a different, was that the same article? Were we on the same article when we were reading?
No.
We read a few articles.
We read a few different articles. Yeah, this is not the same one that we started with.
The article that we were reading when we first started, we like this article too, but was talking about a gentleman driving a Toyota, an 86, what is the... 2017
Toyota 86.
Yeah. Which are... front engine, rear wheel drive, and then almost, has buttons that allow you to turn off and on traction control, turn off and on stability control. And it was manual. And he was driving in Minnesota or somewhere in the snow to go to work. Yeah. And he was saying he was passing people on the side of the road that didn't know they had to turn their traction control off because if it starts to bog down and having a little problems, then it's not going to let you go forward. And to turn
you can't spin your tires to keep momentum going. It'll just be like, nope.
Yeah, your car is shutting you down.
Yeah,
because it's trying to figure out, it's trying to help you by not slipping the tires. Where in this point in time, you actually need to have the tires slip so you can continue to progress. And so that other article was discussing the fact that people don't understand this, don't know about it, don't know what to do about it, and because of that lack of knowledge, the self-driving cars are making us worse drivers also.
Yeah. I could see that. It would be interesting to put a self-driving car into interesting weather conditions like the blizzard in Michigan that the other article, the author drove through. That prompted the article. It would be interesting to see.
Well, the Tesla smacked into a freight truck, right? Because it thought it was driving into the sun.
Yeah.
And it was this big white trailer.
Yeah.
And it drove right into it because it thought it was the glare of the sun.
That is true. Yeah.
You know? And once again, I fully think we're going to get there. We're obviously not there yet.
Yeah, we're not quite there yet.
But, you know, and these are the things that they're working through to try to figure, like, they have to realize, the sun set, it's, you know, on the west side. And when the vehicle's late and driving west, there's going to be a sun reflecting into all the cameras and whatever else is out there.
So here's another thing I thought was a good reason why, a good argument for not having all the technology on cars. So it says, the more you use them, the technology, the less you trust your own judgment behind the wheel.
Sure.
And the first sentence of this paragraph says, a lack of confidence in your skills can be incredibly stressful, especially when you're at the helm of an insanely powerful machine. And so, you see that all the time with brand new off-roaders, right?
Oh, absolutely.
All the time. It's, you know, we saw it with Brennan.
Yep.
Going up Hellhole. When you took him out to Hellhole, it was very stressful, and he would get to a situation not really be sure what to do.
Right.
So he would just mash the gas pedal,
hit the gas, and see if he could mash up, and he got stuck.
Yeah. So it's I think that's a good argument there that, you know, until we're at fully automated vehicles, if you're behind the helm of a vehicle and you're not sure how to, like you said, control or get the vehicle out of a slide in that situation, it can stress the hell out of you.
Right.
If you're in situations like in a snowstorm and your traction control won't let you move forward and you're like, I don't know what the hell's going on. My vehicle it won't even turn the tires.
Right.
So I think that's a pretty good one to just having the confidence to keep you calm in less than calm situations.
Yeah.
I think that's a good argument there.
And what we were, and you know, when we were discussing this earlier, you know, we were talking about blind spot monitoring, right?
Yeah.
And Charlotte has it on there.
Yeah.
And I still don't use it. Like, it's on.
I don't use those either.
It's on. Yeah. And I only, like, I'll look fully over my shoulder and then turn back. And on my way back, I'm like, the light's off or on. And I go, oh, yeah, I got those on my mirror.
Yeah.
But I don't trust it.
I don't trust it either.
I don't, you know, I will trust me looking around. And I get the fact that, you know, they're there so you don't have to turn as far and you're always going to have your eyes forward, you know, and, you know, I don't think I've once in my life, like, I've gotten in accidents. I've hit a few things. I've had a few things hit me, right? Yeah. I don't think I've once ever gotten in an accident because I was turning over my shoulder to go look if there was a car in the other lane.
I've come damn close because of that.
I've never once hit somebody doing it.
Okay. Yes.
I've come close.
Yes, I have come very close.
I'm sure everybody has come close, but
you turn real quick and you turn back and all of a sudden the traffic stopped and you're like, oh, gotta swerve quick and get out of here. Get over to the other lane.
And then you need your automatic braking.
And and your lane assist for when you overcorrect, or your stability control.
What about what about that? What if you can't brake in time, so you're trying to veer out of the way, but then your automatic lane assist pulls you back into the lane?
Then you get to blame the auto manufacturer for rear-ending the guy, the person in front of you,
or the fact that your automatic braking didn't work in time.
Yep. Oh man, so that kind of comes to the next conundrum, and I think one of the big things they're trying to work out is if you are in a fully automated vehicle and it crashes, like in case of the Tesla running into the semi, who's at fault? Who's responsible for that? Is that ultimately the driver's error because ultimately they didn't regain control of the vehicle before they hit the semi? Or is it Tesla's error and Tesla responsible, or whatever X automated vehicle responsible because their software and engineering didn't prevent that from happening.
Right. Right now, I think the auto manufacturers say somebody must be behind the wheel and in control of the vehicle at all times.
Yes, absolutely.
So in that situation, it should be the driver's fault.
Yeah.
But in the future, I have no idea.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to go down this rabbit hole.
Uh-oh. We're got more holes coming up now again?
Yes. In the future, one of the hardest things about building or doing AI in a self-driving car is when the situation comes about that somebody's going to die.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
it's going to happen.
Do I hit the car and kill the person in the car? Or do I swerve and kill the person on the sidewalk?
Yeah.
The computer is fast enough
to figure that out, to do that calculation. Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Where humans stupid enough, it'd probably hit the car.
Yeah.
Because we don't have our automatic braking.
Yep. But which one is it going to prioritize?
Right. And how does it figure that out?
Yeah.
And does it go, well, you know what? I'm carrying the president, so I'm going to kill the person on the street? Or does it go, well, this was a free Uber ride for a bum, and that person on the street is the president, and I'm not going to kill the president.
Interesting.
Right? And then now we're letting the AI choose life or death.
Yeah. I haven't thought about that far. That's an interesting thing. I need to become the president.
Yeah, so
when,
you don't.
When AI car is around, so I don't get chosen to be offed.
And then it comes down to who wrote the code for the AI, whose car is that, because that car is now choosing, doing one thing or another.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe they can all the car, like maybe there's 5 cars and 5 cars just start running into each other so that it gives the 6th car enough room to stop braking so that it doesn't kill somebody. Who knows, like they have things that they'll be able to solve, but there will be a point when they are writing the AI when they do have to choose who's going to die.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm not going to write that code.
I'm not writing that code either, man. That would suck.
Yes.
To be that person, to make that choice. And
the thing is, they're going to be able to take photographs, and like every time somebody looks at their damn Snapchat and puts one of those funky face things on themselves, you're teaching computers how to do facial recognition.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So that's just so you know, out there, everybody in the world, when you put puppy dog eyes and a nose on you and your kids, you're telling computers teaching them how to do facial recognition, and you're teaching them your face and your kids' faces and everything else.
Yep.
So, okay, now we're going to be able to do facial recognition really, really fast. And they're going to know who that person is on the sidewalk, and they're going to know the person in their car.
Yeah. With 5G cell connections now, signals. Those are running 200 megabits a second more.
Yeah.
Some stupid amount of bandwidth, so they can run a lot of data very quickly.
Yeah.
And I know that every Tesla has a cell phone. Essentially, it's a SIM card in it, and it can get data connection.
Okay.
Back to the mothership kind of thing. So they'll be able to, like you said, run faces and know who's in the car, who's around the car, what drivers are driving vehicles around the car at that time. They'll be able to run license plates and find stolen vehicles. Yeah, they'll be able to. That'd be nice.
There is bonuses to all this. It's
going to be
Big Brother
really
is scary.
Yeah,
but Big Brother also has benefits. Like the whole social media thing, getting the Forerunner back.
Yeah,
that was pretty awesome.
That was pretty cool.
I'm not really the biggest fan of social media. Even though my job's in it.
Yeah.
But the fact, but there are benefits to both of these. I fully get it. I think there's a negative to an extent, and there's a positive to it to some extent. But yeah, I don't know how they're going to solve that problem. How they're going to, because they're going to go, that guy's a banker and that guy's a lawyer. That guy makes $100,000 a year, has no kids. That one makes $120,000 a year, has 2 kids. Which one are we going to take out?
The Lehman Brothers one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really want to know when there is and we'll probably be around when this happens.
Yeah.
When there is fully automated self-driving vehicles.
Absolutely, we're going to be around.
And Grandpa comes out, which will be us in that point in time, with a not automated self-driving vehicle driving down the road.
Yeah.
How are the other ones going to interact? How much
that's
room
cool
are they going to give? You know,
it's
like that guy's an idiot. He's not driving an automatic car. He's a liability. We've got to give him lots of room.
Yeah.
And what would be fun about that is then
you can speed down the freeway
fly.
and see everybody get out of the way.
They're all just moving. Oh, here comes that not self-driving car. Spread, the ocean.
Out of the way. Man.
He doesn't have automatic braking.
Nope. Give him wide berth.
That or they'll just stay in the way and they'll wait for you to make them slow down.
Well, that's the other thing. Like, are automated cars going to be able to be easily stolen on the road? Because I doubt they will choose to run somebody over, so you can stand in front of them to stop them.
My understanding of where self-driving cars are going to go, and if there's anybody else out there that has a better understanding or another idea, please let us know, is it's just going to be like jump bikes in the future. They're just going to be a bunch of cars, and you're not going to own it. You're just going to jump in it, put your card down. It's going to get rid of all Ubers, taxis, and everything, and they're just going to be free. Not free cars, but
pay as you use them.
Pay as you use it and do it use whatever you need and just go.
Well, they already have cars like that. The Gig Shares. Gig Share does that, and it's not automated cars, but it's like that. You just jump in and you say, all right, I'm scan this code for this car.
And you pay by the mile.
You pay by the mile or the time or whatever it is, and you go and you have a car for the day. And it's or a car for a couple miles or a car for 100 miles, whatever you need it for.
Yeah. So I think when we go to fully automated self-driving cars around the world, you're not going to own a car. Yeah. You're just going to use your cell phone or tap your wrist or whatever.
I can see that happening.
They're going to scan your retina and you're going to be like, take me to Tokyo.
Yeah.
And then they start flying across the ocean.
Yeah. I can totally see that happening. There's already a bunch of my co-workers and colleagues that work in Chicago, and one of them is 34. He doesn't own a car, and he's like, I don't need to. I had the public transportation works well enough, and if I need to go somewhere else, I just get an Uber.
I have friends that are in San Francisco that don't have cars.
Absolutely.
And and it's funny because you'll talk to somebody that's 15 or 16 years old, and they're like, I don't need a car.
Yeah.
Why do I need a car? Yeah. Especially if they're in a major city.
Yeah.
They're like, I can get on a bus. I've been doing it for years. I can jump on the BART or the subway or, the train and get around town or call an Uber.
So does that mean that the overlanding market is going to die out here?
I don't. It's
reached its peak. It's going to start dying now.
I wonder if there would be a limit on. I don't think you're going to be able to get a car, a little tiny K car in San Francisco and be like, take me to off-roading in Tahoe. Yeah. So
you might be able to find.
You might be able to K car out to Tahoe and then find
one out there,
a rig that can take you off-roading.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Or you'll have these old farts that have rigs that will be like, let me show you how to drive a manual and then I'll take you over this hill over yonder.
Yep.
And then we'll do some broke back stuff.
No, I'll pass on that one. I was waiting for you to throw the hole in there. Oh, man. No, so yeah, it was, there's already places that will rent kind of expeditioning vehicles.
Yeah, trailers.
Trailers, they'll rent there's an outfit that rents 5th gen 4Runners completely decked out for overlanding. They've got fridges in them, rooftop tents, camping equipment, chairs, everything.
One of my good friends just drove from the very tip of Patagonia all the way up to Colombia.
Wow.
And
all
he rented every country. In every country, he rented a 5th gen 4Runner, fully outfitted.
Really?
He couldn't take the 4Runner across the border, but that same company had businesses in every country in South America, and you walked across the border, and then you jumped in your next rig. Wow. And then you you drove it to the next
They
border.
just happened to have him at the border? Did they bring
No,
him to him?
you organized. He said, I'm coming here. I'll be at the border this date, or this time of date. And then you drop the Forerunner off with that company on, let's say, Chile. And then you walk across the border into Peru, I think. And then jump in the next vehicle and drive up.
Let's build some Toyotas to rent out so people can go run the Rubicon.
Yeah, I'm down. People do that.
I know. They spend tons of money on, like, what's the big one? Barlow Adventures.
Yeah.
Up on the Rubicon. They do Rubicon expeditioning. They essentially let people use their Jeeps. They have it's a guided trip. But they let people use their Jeeps and go through the Rubicon. But we could just park like a fleet of 20 third gen pickups and first gen pickups and first gen Forerunners and first gen Tacomas up at the chalet in the dirt parking lot.
Yeah.
And then just have a scan code on them like Gig Share and like a K car and just say, all right, cool. You go in, you can go run one trip on the Rubicon is $1,000. I don't know, whatever it would be.
Right. In college, I loved watching surf videos.
Okay.
I don't know why.
You did kind of have that surfer.
I did surf
time when you looked kind of like Jesus for a while.
Yes, I actually dressed up as him one year for Halloween.
Oh, that's even better.
I was bad. I had like a little wreath. I wore something that looks like a toga. I had my friend's body paint a hole in the side of me where the spear went. Yes,
a Jesus hole.
Yeah,
and Jesus hole on your side.
A bunch of lines on my back from where I got whipped. And then I had another buddy that dressed up as Moses. Which was just a guy in a toga for the most part. Okay. And we had a lot of fun that one. But
nice. Okay.
Going back to the tangent. I had a surf video that the guy bought a used Toyota in San Diego and drove it to Costa Rica and sold it for twice as much money in Costa Rica.
Jeez.
That would be a fun trip.
That'd be a good trip.
Drive down to Costa Rica.
Yep.
But
our good buddy Harry Wagner joked around about, because they're out on Ultimate Adventure this week, right?
When's this video coming out? When's this episode?
So this episode is airing on Monday, September 2nd.
So after?
So they're just finishing up Ultimate Adventure, if not already done with it, and he was joking that he drove his truck 3,000 miles up to Alaska. His F-150 on 42s.
Yeah.
And he was like, forget driving that back. I'm just going to sell it in Alaska.
Right. I wonder if he sold it. We should follow up with him.
We need to follow it up. Yeah, we'll hit him up here on Instagram and figure out.
But if you had a self-driving car, you could tell it to go to Alaska all by itself.
That's true. See? Fred, Dave, Harry... You guys need self-driving Ultimate Adventure vehicles?
Yeah. Or just hire Tyler and we'll take them over there for you.
I would be willing.
I'll chauffeur a vehicle for you.
Yeah.
Seriously. That'd be fun.
We're working some angles for next year. So so that's in a nutshell, we started with talking about these advancements in vehicle technology, are they making us worse drivers? I think we've both agreed yes. Absolutely, they are making us worse drivers. Mm-hmm. Is that a bad thing? Yeah. I think for the time being it is, until we get fully automated vehicles.
Right. And
personally,
therefore I do say it is a bad thing.
So it is a bad thing. And
once again, I'm going to go back, and I think that in driving school, they should be teaching us more than how to look around a car to make a left turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you think every driving school should go through an EVOC course?
Yes.
That'd be awesome. I would love to do that.
And maybe not necessarily because I've gone through the EVOC course as a passenger on most of it, but maybe being a passenger and having an understanding, having a driving instructor slide, and so you get the understanding and the feeling of it. That might be enough, you know. But I think going on the skid pan, definitely,
absolutely, yeah. I would agree. I think that
my younger brother doesn't know how to control a skid, and I've been like, dude, I've got to teach you.
We're gonna go play for a weekend.
Yeah.
Does the GF Know how to control a skid?
I doubt it. She doesn't like driving.
Oh, really?
No.
That's a bummer.
No, it's great because I get to do it.
There you go.
I actually really like driving. And so we'll go on like a road trip and I'll be like, my turn. Let me drive. She's like, you want me to drive a little bit?
No. Stay out of the seat.
Yeah. I'll go. Like, I don't have any problem. I drove to Moab and in 16 hours. Like, I was exhausted, but I don't even know if I would have let her drive. She would have been even more tired just being passenger.
Yeah.
So.
Being freaked out going up Highway 80 with your steering.
Oh, that was, yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah. No, it was more freaky going. I went 50. Once I hit Nevada, I went over to Highway 50
okay.
on my way out. Okay. And then I did Highway 80 back. So if you're in the Sacramento area, Northern California, go 80. Both ways.
Highway 80. Don't bother with 50.
It says it's shorter time and it says it's shorter distance, but it's not.
So, because I think we're down to one camera now, and it's on Jimmy, so I'm going to hang off to the side here so nobody can see me. Yeah, so that does it. I think it was an interesting conversation. It wasn't really too much off-road centered, but I thought it was just a kind of a cool campfire discussion-esque topic that related to vehicles, related to what we do in our vehicles, driving them on the roads kind of thing. So, it was a fun article. We'll post it down in the show notes for you guys. And if you have any feedback on it or want to tell us how stupid we are or how much you disagree that they're making us bad drivers, please send an email on over to Jimmy at SnailTrail4x4.com.
And if you completely disagree with everything that I said, send an email to Tyler at SnailTrail4x4.com and say, Jimmy is a moron in the title.
That works for me. I'll forward it right on over. I'll take pictures of it and post them up with Jimmy. So, other than that, you can find us everywhere. Just Google SnailTrail4x4. You can find me through Googling 4x4 Toyota Tyler on Instagram. And the website is kind of like the hub for everything. So if you want to find where the YouTube is, the Patreon, how to get to the Instagram accounts, how to email us, send a contact form on the website, it's all there, like through the central hub of the website, SnailTrail4x4.com. And make sure that you guys get in for the September giveaway, that Factor 55 winching thimble. So we will give you a little bit more details on that and some of the more engineering statistics of that piece and that item.
And we'll announce the winner.
And we'll have a winner of the Exploration Ready Advanced First Aid Kit on the next episode here of the Snail Trail 4x4 Podcast, which comes and says hello into your ear hole in a few days here. So with that, my friends, any last words for the peeps out in podcast listening land?
Learn how to control your slide.
And with that, my friends, keep crawling.